Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody listening in. Today is Friday, last day of the year for me, for this show. We've had a fantastic year. I'm very grateful for everyone who's showing up and the bit of the community that we've been building here. It's been absolutely fantastic. I hope everyone's having a wonderful week heading into Christmas. Christmas holidays coming up soon. I'm sure lots of people are out and about, spending time with their family, maybe traveling, maybe exploring different areas, going on holidays, etc. It is that time. Some of you have the very cold white weather, and some of you, if you're listening from my home area, are probably sitting at the beach around this time because it's about 40 degrees. But I'm very grateful to be here in Germany, spending a slightly different Christmas than I'm used to, but with a new family. Those of you who don't know, I got married yesterday, so I'm very excited, very happy. New family first Christmas as a married man, as a new family with my little man and my lovely wife now. So I'm very grateful for the way things are going for me here. And this is what I would like to bring forward to you today is gratitude for self. So if you are going down and really getting in deep with gratitude, you may find getting a gratitude journal is one of the best ways to keep tracking and keep yourself into a good habit. Now, I did create a gratitude journal, and this is available on Amazon. But in that journal, there is a gratitude at night, gratitude in the morning, and I have built in 3 sections. So find gratitude for 3 things, but then underneath that, it's find gratitude for 2 people, because finding gratitude for items is great, but also finding gratitude for situations is great, but finding gratitude for people, whether people that you like or people that maybe you actually don't like and you've got a feud with them, and finding gratitude for reasons they're around and in your life can help you to get over said feud and move on and build on some of those negative relationships that are holding you back. So I'd highly recommend that if that's the path you want to go, I will drop the link in the comments in the Spotify section here. But grab yourself a gratitude journal, whether it's mine, whether it's whatever it is, whether you make one up, keep tracking, and then you can also look back at the year. Start of the year, what was I finding gratitude for? Okay, now, end of the year, what am I finding gratitude for now? How has my scenery changed? How has my perspective changed? How has my entire life and my perception over the year changed from what it was at the start? Because by doing this, by tracking, by going back and revisiting the things you were finding gratitude for at the start of the year, you'll actually see how much growth you've had. And this is something that I'm going to be pushing forward into next year, starting and tracking my gratitude morning and night with my own journal, and making sure that I continue this through the whole year, hopefully, and look back and I can actually see the change in the things that I've been grateful for and what stands out consistently, those things that I'm grateful for, and new things that come into the journal. Now, today, I want you in the chat, for the few people that are here, finishing off strong with this at the end of the year. I see a bit of gratitude already coming through, which I love. But I'm going to put a challenge to you to find gratitude for yourself. So I'll read out some of the gratitude we've got here already. I'm grateful for my mindset work. It will help me through the beautiful and sometimes stressful holiday season. Yes. I'm grateful for everyone taking the initiative to grow our trading community with personal development opportunities like this one. Yeah, it's been great. I'm so happy with everyone stepping in and helping. It's been an awesome community to be a part of. I'm grateful for a slower pace. My family is sleeping in. We're finalizing Christmas plans today and are set to enjoy a wonderful few days with family and friends. I'm grateful for my sister and brother-in-law who love and support others so well. They're always there for others. I'm so grateful for 2 friends who are great encouragers, who live with so much gratitude and joy. They are pinnacle examples of what it means to love and live well. Oh, that's awesome. That's really good. Finding a lot of gratitude there and finding gratitude for others, exactly as we were just discussing. I love that. So what I'm going to do today, start off with, I'm grateful for myself. I'm grateful for the things that I've done this year and how far I've come. I'm grateful for the fact that I've been engaged. I'm grateful for the fact I got married. I'm grateful for the fact that I've had a child this year. I'm grateful for the fact that I've moved house. I've moved city. I've put myself in an uncomfortable position learning a new language. I put myself in a kitchen full of people who don't speak my language and found a new job. I have come a long way with learning this language and being more settled. I'm such a traveler. I haven't stayed in the same place for more than 5 months for the last 5 years, and I've been in this one place for 8 months almost. So I'm very grateful for finding the ability to settle and to break into a bit of routine. I'm very grateful for my ability to stay consistent with this podcast. We're up to episode 50 today, and I'm extremely proud of myself for making it consistently, morning in, week out, over the last, I think, maybe 6 weeks, or 7, even a bit longer now, 7 weeks maybe, on this morning podcast, on this morning call with the people who are consistently showing up. I'm extremely grateful. I've got the ability to travel. I've been to 7 countries this year. I became published. I wrote a short book. And I'm really proud of myself for sticking through all of the things that I wanted to achieve, even when it became tough, even when it felt like it wasn't going to happen, even when it felt like I should just give up and go back to the other path, go back to the easy route, because, it does get tough and it does get hard and it does get strenuous and it does get exhausting, but the discipline needs to be there and the grit needs to be there to keep going, because it is so worth it. And so for that today, I am extremely grateful for myself. And I know I'm talking about myself, but I feel like the message I want to portray across here is that it's extremely important, extremely, extremely, extremely important to give yourself the praise that you deserve. There we go. Give yourself the praise that you deserve for the things that you've done. So often we focus on our shortcomings, focus on the things we haven't done, focus on the things that we feel we should have done better. And what does this do? It puts us in a negative frame of mind of ourselves. It's not often that we give ourselves the time to be proud of ourselves, to give ourselves the praise, to give ourselves the pat on the back that sometimes we deserve. Because if we're always looking at the things we haven't achieved, we forget to look back and see how far we've come. We forget to look at the journey and the growth that we've had up to this date. So for the very last episode of this year, I would like everyone here, if they can, find some gratitude for yourselves. It might feel like you're bragging. It might feel like you're gloating, but this is important. It is important to have that self-accomplishment feeling and that pride in yourself for what you have done. So I really, if you can, I'd love you to share your gratitude for yourself in the chat. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, just write it down, but write down the things that you've accomplished this year. Write down the things that you're proud of. Write down the things that you feel, maybe you don't even realize how far you've come, but looking back and going, oh, I remember at the start of the year, I was in this situation, or I was in wanting to get this done, and now look at me. It's that self-evaluation. And this is what I talk about on the charts all the time. The ability to self-evaluate at the end of each session is going to be what grows you the fastest. Well, much like you should self-evaluate at the end of each session, you should then self-evaluate your overall month and see how you've gone. You should also self-evaluate your overall year. How have you done? Find praise in yourself. Live happily, live proud, live joyous in the things that you've accomplished, because very few people will sit there and cheer for you and pat you on the back. So you may as well fucking do it for yourself. So finishing off this year, I really want to encourage everyone to find that joy for themselves in the things that they have accomplished over this year. And it may even be the small things. It could be very, very small things, but find the gratitude for it, find the pride, find the joy, and find the happiness for yourself. It's so important. How often do I say, like, we should be focusing on the things we have done and not focusing on what we should have done or what we should have accomplished, because this should is going to be the thing that breaks us down, because you're always going to have things that you could have done better, that you could have done more. You're always going to have things that you wish you had have done differently in some way or another. But every decision you make, every action you take, everything that you do leads you to where you are right now. If you had have done something differently, you may not be here on this call. You may not be in the position you are in now. You may not be following this journey. I will not shoot on myself today. Exactly. We shouldn't shoot on ourselves ever. And it's something that I'm consciously trying to remove from my vocabulary. I find myself using it all the time. Don't get me wrong. It's almost second nature. But I am consciously aware of this, and I do want to try and remove it from my vocabulary. And yes, Derek, I do like that saying. The important thing here, find gratitude for yourself. Like I said, in my journal, I have 2 people that you should find gratitude for, and one of them should be you very frequently. Because we need to start positive self-talk. We need to start being proud of the things that we have done for ourselves. Comprende? Good. Right, the next thing that I want to talk about just briefly is whether you feel and this relates to, finding that gratitude, whether you feel that you've accomplished everything that you want on your, let's hope you've got a vision board, maybe your to-do list, maybe your goals list, whatever you have, whether you've accomplished all of it, none of it, or some of it, I want you to look at these things and be proud of the things you have done, but don't be disappointed in the things that you haven't, and start to find areas that we can improve and move into next year. So we're just finishing off the year at the moment. New Year's resolutions is a great way to do a little Kickstarter. Personally, I think they're an excuse that we use. True discipline, you should be able to just start today, not start next week, not start next month. But if you're struggling with this thing, then use the New Year's resolution. I'm using it because I've let my discipline go a little bit and I've started to slack off. So I'm going to use the New Year's resolution to start up, kickstart some of my habits. And we need to find areas in which we can improve on so that we can carry it through the year, not just say like, I'm going to join a gym and I'm going to work out 5, 6, 7 times a week, because these are unrealistic expectations. And we got to look at the things that we've accomplished, the things that we want to accomplish, and figure out what the gap is that can lead us between one, like, if we got our to-do list, our goal list, our vision board from last year, and you feel like there's some things on there you wanted to achieve but haven't, this is a really perfect time to find the gap between, okay, I thought I could achieve this year, but I haven't. Is it because my priorities have shifted and I don't want this in my life anymore, which is very valid. Sometimes that happens. Is it because I was lazy? Is it because I let other things get in the way? Did I just get stuck in the 9 to 5 and let go of my dreams and goals? Or did I chase it and just realize that it was bigger than what I thought it was, and that I'm still on path? So use this time to find the gap and find the small things that you can continue to do and grow and develop on. Sounds like my little man's having a bit of a time back there. I'm sorry if you can hear that in the background. And one thing I want to share with you today is big goals, big dreams, things that people aren't doing, most people aren't doing, are going to take time. They're going to take dedication. They're going to take discipline. They're going to take grit. And you just got to know that the reason not everyone has chiseled abs, Ferraris, and $1 million in their bank account is because not everyone has the discipline and grit to keep going when it gets tough. And if we can find these small things that we can work on, that we can grow on, that we can develop on, and understand that big dreams and goals are marathons, not sprints, then we can figure out how to level ourselves up so we can keep going. Now, I want to share a little reel that I really, really liked. Hang on, where is it? That really got me thinking. It's something I've heard a few times and it stuck with me, and I just want to share it here. So let me know if you can see this and hopefully hear it.
Sprint. I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings. And in every study, my question was, who is successful here and why? One characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay. So hopefully you caught that. I think grit is literally the number one defining factor between why some people are successful and some people aren't. I really, truly believe that you get tested and tested until you've learned a lesson enough so that you can break through and what I call level up. And so just know that when you have these challenging times, when you have these times where you're like, oh, I'm never going to do this, finding the grit to keep going is going to be the difference between you and someone else. Following your dream just takes you getting up more times than everyone else. Following your dream and having ridiculously a ridiculous lifestyle, being a million dollar trader, defying the odds, being different to the norm, takes getting up over and over again. Like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes the failure, and I spoke about this yesterday, I think, sometimes the failure can hurt and it can suck and it feels horrible. But it's okay to feel that, and it's okay to have that feeling. What the difference is if you can grit your teeth, get back on your feet and keep going. Because lots of people have dreams and goals and high ambitions, but very few people succeed at them. Because very few people are willing to continue when the going gets tough, when, their hands and knees in the dirt and they need to get up again and again. But once you learn that ability, once you understand that the grit to keep going, which, as I talk about a lot, can often be driven by a very, very strong why. If you have a good why, you'll get back up time and time again. But having that grit, finding the ability to keep going is the thing that's going to make you or break you. Some people will get there faster. Some people will take a lot longer. Some people, like myself, need to take a lot more lessons before I learn than other people because of where we came from, because of our backstory, because of our emotion, whatever it may be. But you have to have the willing to keep fighting and to keep going and find that grit, find that discipline. So at the end of the year, where we are right now, it's extremely important to find pride and joy and happiness in the things that you've accomplished so far. Find the few areas where you may have felt you fell short, or few areas that you still want to improve on by self-evaluating how you've come, how far have you gotten to achieving your goals from the start of last year, how far have you come in your to-do list, are you still on track, has your path changed, all these things, the self-evaluate, and then make a plan for the next year. A plan of attack to keep going, a plan of attack to keep up with the dreams and the aspirations and the goals that you've got, and whether it's to be a millionaire trader, whether it's to be financially free or live in another country, whatever it is that you've got on your dream board or vision board. And if you don't have one, I think our group's doing a vision board drink thing. It'll be 3 a.m. for me, so I won't be there. But I really recommend you get on to that. I've got one here. I don't know if I've shared it with people, but I have had this one since the start of roughly last year, but it's more of a 5-year vision board, and I've managed to tick off 2 of the things on the thing, so I'm very proud. But I will be looking to make another one for the year ahead, for myself, to try and moderate it down rather than having I'll have them next to each other, so I'll still have my long-term goals, but have a slightly shorter term one. But you want to have these aspirations and dreams, and then go back. How far have I come? What are the things that I can be proud of? What are the things that I can work on? What are the little things that I can implement each day to help develop this, to help grow this? What habits should I start to build on? And like I said, self-evaluate. It's the key to all aspects, is to go back, give yourself a pause and see how you've done and see how you've grown. Not only that, but your mindset will have changed like crazy since the start of last year. Your ability to learn, to take in new information, your whole perception of where you're at, or you as a whole, could have shifted. And this is a good thing. You don't have to be like, oh, I haven't done any of my goals because I'm now on a different trajectory, because I've learned so much about myself and I'm now learning and developing into a new person. If that's the case, restructure. Find out what's important to you. Find out where you want to be at in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, and write yourself a plan for getting there, because the only difference between a dream and a goal is a structured plan and the motivation to take action on that plan. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope I've inspired some people to give themselves a bit of a pat on the back, a bit of a, self-evaluation, and keep driving forward, because at the end of the day, that's all we're here to do. We're just here to find out the lifestyle that we want and figure out a way that we can shift our perspective to keep on keeping on until we achieve those things that we want. Because it really is just in the mind. Every single step we take is in the mind. We have a decision to be happy or sad with our choices. We have a decision to be proud or disappointed in our accomplishments. We have the ability to make a decision at whether we're going to be frustrated, joyous, mad, excited about every little thing that we've done. And you can choose to be disappointed in the things you haven't done, or you can choose to be extremely fucking proud of the things you have done. And it's entirely up to you. Absolutely. This has been so good. I love that reel and the grit factor. Yeah, the grit, honestly, grit is the key factor that whenever I'm feeling down, whenever I'm feeling beaten, whenever I feel like life's just handed me a couple of blows to the face, I'm like, how much grit do I have? Is this my quitting point? Is this where I'm giving up just because of this? Is this one experience? Is this one deterrent enough to take me down for good that I'm just going to give up? And usually my response is, fuck no, I've come so far. There's no chance I'm getting beaten by this little thing. Grit and choice equals keys to getting where we want to go. It certainly does. You need to have the grit to keep persevering, and you need to have the ability to choose your emotions, to choose your perspective, and to choose whether or not you're going to give up or keep going. Every single second of every single day, we have the ability to shift our perspective from I'm frustrated at this to how can I look at this differently? I'm so proud at me coming this far, or I'm so annoyed at this person to how can I take a lesson from this person? Perhaps it's, oh my God, I've stubbed my toe on this lip 10 times to I'm going to do something about this goddamn lip so I don't stub my toe on it again. We do have that ability to shift our perspective, to rephrase our verbs, and to project our life in any which way we want to do it. We just have to consciously be aware that we have those choices and we have that ability, and we need to not give up, especially when it gets tough, because it's going to get tough and it's going to throw you down. Everything, single thing that you have on your to-do list, if it's big enough, will be struggling, will make you struggle to get it. And if it doesn't make you struggle and you get it too easy, then you need to have bigger challenges, because that's what growth is. That's, to me, what life is. It's having goals and challenges so big that it's frustrating as fuck for you because you feel like you're never going to get there. And then you finally get there and you feel super elated, super happy, super proud, whatever you want to call it. You feel super. Okay. I believe that is my last rant for the year. I'm very, very grateful for everyone coming. I'm grateful for everyone having their input, for sharing bits and pieces. For those of you who send me messages, I love every single one of them. They really do fill my heart. For those of you who've been here once or twice, thank you so much. I look forward to coming back in the new year. Looking at the calendar, it looks like we're coming back on, I think it's the 2nd is the Monday. So I'm still very undecided whether I'm going to take a second week off, but I think I'm going to try come back strong on the 2nd of January on the Monday. And hopefully continue on learning, growing, and developing with each and every one of you that's listening in, that's joining me on these calls, and that's having an input. So thank you to everyone. It's been a fantastic year, and I can't believe we made it 50 episodes of the Success Shift. I'm hoping to get some interviews back in next year, interviewing some people that I believe to be successful or that believe they are successful, and getting inside some of their brains, as well as just firing away my gratitude and my bits and pieces that I've learned and keep learning. So with that, I'll say thank you. God bless. Have a great holiday, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Thank you for all the love and appreciation. Thank you, Jake. You have done an incredible job with your podcast. I'm grateful for all of your teachings. Thank you so much. Thanks for the great rants. Absolutely. This has been so good. I love that reel and the grit factor. We read that before, but thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate the comments. I really appreciate the feedback. I really appreciate you all for jumping on. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Love to you all. If you're jumping on the charts, be careful this week. Volume goes down and it's Christmas and holidays and New Year's. Don't want to ruin your Christmas with a bad day on the charts, especially if you're emotional like me. But with that, love you all. Speak to you next year. Have a fantastic week or two, or whatever you're doing with your family. Give them all hugs and cuddles. I will be on the phone with mine over Christmas, as they live on the other side of the world. So if you're next to them, hug them, show them appreciation, give them some love, and Merry Christmas. Bye.